In the past few weeks, I've been doing a lot of Exarch and Eder runs, and in this video, I'm gonna go over what my Atlas strategy is and how I progress from tier 1 maps to Exarch and Eder relatively fast. So I'm gonna start off with the Atlas tree. The first nodes that you're gonna rush are the Kirak mission nodes. You can also get this one, and the reason why we do that is Kirak will help us with completing map Atlas objectives. Firstly, but through the missions itself, and then also with his map inventory, his map shop. And so you get these nodes, and then you can get those down here and those down there. When you try to get to Exarch and Eder fast, is you do not, at least not in wide maps, you do not full clear the map, and you will rush to the boss and clear the monsters on the way there, and that is to get the map Atlas objective. And you do this as long as you have enough maps, and you can buy enough maps from Kirak. And early on that's possible because you can buy maps from Kirak, and the map sustain is, even if you rush to the boss, is still fairly decent. So you get more Kirak mission nodes here, and then you can get these higher tier nodes. And at that point you should be, with that many Atlas passives allocated, you should be roughly in tier 10 and tier 11. Then I would get adjacent map drop chance nodes. So you want to click these adjacent map drop chance nodes, and for that these nodes don't have a lot of value because we're just boss rushing. You get these adjacent map drop chance nodes and you start full clearing the red maps, and afterwards I would get the item quantity nodes, and at that point you should be able to get to Exarch and Eder. So next I'm going to talk about Kirak missions. Map tiers of his shop will increase depending on how many Atlas objectives you have completed. So one important threshold is the 30 Atlas objectives. At 30 he will start selling up to map tier 9, and that's important because at 30 Atlas objectives completed, usually you have completed a lot of wide maps and you've completed maybe like half of the yellow tier, so there's a good chance that you're not in tier 9s yet, and the 30 Atlas objectives basically will guarantee you a progression into tier 9s. And what's also important is if you open a Kirak mission, you will refresh the map inventory once the portal pops.
How's the trail?
You get different other maps, and you want to, by holding the old key, you can check if you have completed the bonus objective. So in the campaign, I would recommend not using a lot of fusings, so you can convert those fusings into chance orbs at the vendor. And the tier of the Atlas missions are always one tier higher than the map you have completed. And you don't, for example, you don't have to have tier 16 sepulcher completed. It just needs to be a sepulcher that needs to be completed. So you could technically get sepulcher in white missions, and if you complete it that way, you will get tier 16s for your red missions. And also you can 3-to-1 maps to get a higher tier. And what's also important is that's different, even though it's the same time, even though I have 3 shores here, if I put in a different shore, it will give me a different tier 7. When you're rushing at Exarch and Eder, you typically don't have access to expedition harvest. So what you usually do is you can do a Faustus, and what I would recommend is, if you have enough gold, is to buy chests, because sometimes you can get, it's not very difficult to get 5 links. And the other option for gearing, easy gearing, is June. You can provide pretty good gear with veil modifiers. And quite often I get jewelry like that, or I get weapons. For example, for once I could get, if I'm playing a dot build, I could get like chaos damage over time multiplier, cold damage over time multiplier. Or if I'm playing a slam, I could get an axe with increased physical damage. Alright, that was it, and basically that's how I get to Exarch and Eder.